I'm gonna make it quick, I'm longer than the
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Together with the public, and your wish to speak is finished. Hearing none, we will go on to our first item, which is consider authorizing the amended Form L4029-2016 tax rate request, reflecting a change in the PA 214 Veterans Relief Fund millage request, and authorize the board chair to execute all required documents.
I'll make that motion.
I'll support it.
Discussion.
I have a question as far as what is this based on? There's no supporting documents in the packet that says anything about why they want to lower it.
I think I can answer that.
Sure.
There was a discrepancy between what the Veterans Board approved for the amount of dollars to come out of PA 214 in 2017 and the amount that had been entered as the budget request. The Veterans Board approved $115,000 and what was submitted was $151,000. I questioned whether it was a transposition of numbers or whether they really wanted that much less money. So Director Archer got them together and they went through the issue, and what they wanted was the 151, which was 0.9 mils calculated instead of 0.1 mil, which had been assessed for 2016. And that's why the change was made, because they wanted to decrease the burden on the taxpayers while still funding all the activities they had planned.
Thank you, Patty.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Any further discussion? Any other questions? Hearing none, we can move right along to the committee of the whole. The vote, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion carries. Consider authorizing the application for the PA 116 Farmland Open Space Preservation Program agreement for David and Jennifer Jacobs in New Haven Township, and authorize the board chair to execute all required documents.
I'll make that motion, Mr. Chairman.
Second that motion.
Any further discussion on this? Hearing none, we can move this ahead with a vote. Signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion carries. This is for information only.
Any questions for the drain office? Can you, is Mr. Wade kind of about what it's been? Yeah. Okay.
Well, our next item is listed as information only.
Gary's got a question.
Yeah, I had several farmers call me, said you assessed them too much.
Okay.
You know, we got a lot of calls like that when we did our data review. We did assess less this year than we have in previous years, because you can see the county at large is 85,249, and the budgeted was 120, was 112. So we got a lot more drains to work on, but then we got that EPA coming, so we want to leave it at 112. But we want to wait until we get that LiDAR, so we don't have to spend so much money in engineering to fix these other drain districts and stuff. So.
Well, thank you, because when I get done with financing, we're going to tell you thank you.
Okay.
You made it up when the Michigan Creek comes through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's, I guess, well, we can probably comment and talk on that.
Okay, we'll want to move this along to the committee of the whole then. If there's no further discussion, we'll vote. Signify by saying aye.
We didn't.
I'm sorry, we did not
That's
get
just
a motion.
informational.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. John, did you make the motion?
No, it's just informational.
Well,
We
actually,
do have
no,
to
we-
place it on file now. That's-
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I'll make the motion to place it on file.
Okay,
All right, okay.
and seconded, okay. Move that ahead to the vote, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion carries. Thank you, John. Thank you. Okay, monthly reports from the Community Development Department. Pete, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. For the month of September, we had 22 zoning permits and an abysmal 17 building permits. It's just all of a sudden, everything just fell off for the month of September. Usually, September is one of our hotter months because folks are trying to get foundations in the ground so they can get the home buttoned up before winter comes in and they can do the interior. So we did see quite a bit of drop in building permits. Zoning enforcement, code enforcement, we had 59. Prior to adding staff, we were averaging about 40. So with additional staff, we are able to hit the field and have more code enforcement done. Our specific staff are working on some of the bigger ones in order to, having 10 acres of junk property takes a while. And so we work with those people instead of just going full code enforcement. So that's where some of those efforts are. I did provide you on your desk today when you came in, the highlighted area showing where we are at in compared to last year. Previously, we were in the 30s. I think we reached as high as 38% over last year. And now we are down to being 9.31% over where we were last year. Last year, we ended up more than 30% over. Between 2014 and 2015, the building department added over $50,000 increase in revenue. So this year, if we make 30,000 in the next 11 weeks, we will break even where we were last year and add the $50,000 to revenue. I expect that to happen much more than that, given how flat September was. I'm a little more on shaky ground than it was previously. But still, we're going to be well within the black when it comes to operating the department. So even if we receive zero amount, we'd be 16% down from where we were last year, but 15% over where we were in 2014. And just to add a little bit more, I don't know if any of you have heard through the grapevine, but we've been dealing a lot with wind energy the last couple of weeks. Rush Township, at their regular meeting, invited our office as well as the folks from Apex Energy that are looking to do somewhere around 50, 60 wind turbines in the northwest corner of the county. In response to that meeting, I'm starting to talk with folks from Owasso Township because some of the turbines will be in Owasso Township and see if we can hold a joint meeting between the County Planning Commission and the Owasso Township Planning Commission, since we don't have jurisdiction there over their zoning, and allow everybody to air it out and talk more about what the issues. I think what it turned into, I think one guy described it as a blank session, but I think it was very informative to have the developer there and to have our office there.
Have they signed up a lot of the land already?
They have, but that's proprietary information. Our office does not ask for that information.
Yeah.
When they come to us and say, well, we think we're going to put one here, when you get your full packet together, you bring it in, we'll tell you what the setbacks are, we'll tell you what our ordinance regulations are, and then we'll look at it. But that puts us on our heels on a controversial project, or it turns controversial, that we somehow assisted and aided or promoted this type of development. We're going to be the black and white of the ordinance. Any developer that comes in, we treat them the same as we would anybody else. And I think one of the stronger statements that I made that night is that even though property owners have rights, that the developer has rights too. Just like anybody coming in needed a variance for a porch or wanting to put up a pole barn, they have certain rights to do that where businesses want to start. So hopefully that came across. We're not the bad guy. We're not promoting. This is a viable land use and we'll take it as it comes.
I know several people come to me that they don't like it, so there must have been some negative there, right?
Yes, there was, but the rumor mill had this as a done deal.
Oh, yeah.
That we'd already approved it in my office, they showed up, said we want to put 50 turbines up, and I signed off and away they went.
Yeah.
That is by all means not the case. They do not have their project locked in, they have not applied for anything in our office.
No special use permit yet or anything.
Right.
And it was awesome that Pete was there at the Apex. It started off as going at Pete, but when the Apex guy was deflected to the Apex guy, but
That's
very
what started
informational.
smiling.
Yeah, informational. People came in negative and angry and they left, like they felt heard, they got their complaints out, they got the information they wanted about our ordinances and things that we can update along the way. There's no, and by no means is this a done deal. It'll take 4 years before, I imagine, before it's completed. So.
Also too, these are the bigger ones, aren't they? Yeah, and it was kind of interesting because of the advancement in technology and whatever they do. One of those turbines is 60 feet, they're 60 feet higher than the other ones, or 100 feet or something like that. But they generate 6 to 8 times more electricity when the wind's blowing. So actually this field could have been 360 instead of 60.
What they're talking about is they're looking at 1 to 2 per section in that area. If they had to go with a shorter tower, then of course they'd need more turbines out there. But they've kind of, wishy-washy about that type of information and which turbines they're going to build. They can't answer that until they're able to sell their energy. And so they're not going to build this with a signed contract with DTE or Consumers Energy. So there's a lot of legwork that has to be done.
Yeah, and I did notice where Congress re-upped nationwide their part of the deal for tax credits on the federal. So that'll be through 2019 now or something. So there's going to be activity because you're going to be able to write it off. Apply the cost of the turbine against your net profit.
Yeah, and that's where I just look at the land use and they'll move through with that, whatever makes it financially feasible. We did have some non-residents that have dealt with wind turbines in other areas coming to try to educate the public on why they should oppose them as well. So do expect some of that.
All in all, it was a great week.
I thought so too.
Do you anticipate a follow-up meeting, a joint meeting to be this month still? Or?
No, it will not be this month, but sometime in November, and maybe after deer season, before Thanksgiving, or even move into December.
Okay.
The only reason I would suggest that is that I hear some of the Owasso Township residents are bringing it up, and if indeed they are going to put turbines in Owasso Township, even though we're 2 different jurisdictions, they have a larger meeting room. Let people talk about it, because that's the only way that we're going to be able to get through a project of this size is if everybody's on the same page. A lot of Facebook posts, a lot of things saying that this has been kept quiet, this is behind closed doors. No further than the case can that be, because since 2008 we've been working on this language. We've publicly noticed things. We have had Met towers put up. It's been out there. It's just never had a fire with it.
There's much to do, very similar to the hog farm out in Fairfield, but that required a sheriff's presence at that meeting. But it just, they're worried about the smell, now they're worried about the look. It's going to take time, so.
I appreciate the conversation we had here, so this is good. Thank you.
Excuse me, Pete,
Yes.
what's the downside of having these up there?
Well, I think
What's some of the negative things that there'll be an impact of some sort?
The propaganda is that it'll lower property value or your home tax value or resale value. If you move out, who's going to want to buy a house next to this monstrosity? Is the con that really is basically all they're hung up on.
Any land use is going to have a perceived negative impact. I mean, I've seen this room filled because somebody wants to put a pole barn somewhere on the property that obstructs the view from the lake of others. It depends on what that is. Now, what you are going to hear is things that are going to be very difficult for us to determine. Comments are made that there's people in Huron County that are living in the basements, that they've had to leave and move out, that there's a subsonic type noise that can't be measured by normal wind instruments. You have to hire this professional who makes his living on going around and measuring this particular sound. You know, those are the things you're going to get. You're going to get a lot of technical information. The Planning Commission is going to get a lot of technical information, and we just have to dig through it. One of the things that I'll be talking with the County Planning Commission next week is that we do have in our zoning ordinance the ability to essentially have an escrow for something that the county would not normally deal with. And that's in order to pay for the time, the research, hiring engineering consultants, noise specialists. We need to put some more meat in our wind energy ordinance, because this will significantly tax the county as far as if you need somebody to counter claims about noise or engineering. I can't do that, nor can anybody on my staff. You would have to hire a specialist. But we can talk about all that. We don't even have an application yet. That'll be down the road.
Yeah, so.
They were talking before this about how much money it was going to be, you know, per wattage and all this other malarkey. What is a ballpark figure per tower that they're claiming is going to actually come back to the county in one way or another?
I do know this, that the state of Michigan severely increased the depreciation rates on these. Probably about 3 or 4 years ago, you would get X amount. Now you're looking at half that amount that would be coming in. The developer has put together some information on that, shared it with the townships and at public meetings. I don't have any of that on hand. They talk about Gratiot County, the county itself, getting approximately $1.5 million from the turbines up there annually. But again, now there's this very severe depreciation rate that's been set by the State Tax Commission. But Apex Energy would be more than happy to provide that kind of information if you'd like me to seek it out from them.
Yeah, please. Thanks.
Any further illnesses, discussion?
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Pete. We'll move on to any other agenda items. Hearing none, we'll set to call to the public.
John, all I want to say is that, Commissioners, we are having a meeting with the lawyer tomorrow that you guys hired, you know, for the Michigan Creek. So all of you are invited. It's 5 o'clock at our office.
5?
Yeah.
Convenient after our meeting.
Yeah, that's right. We wanted to have it before, and I said, that ain't gonna work. So, but we're gonna he wants to go out, I gotta take him out, he wants to see these levees. He's never seen them before, so he wants to go out, get some pictures, and get the information together, because they want to have a mediator sit down and come to an agreement. And in Genesee County and even our representative says the board makes that determination what we're doing, not a mediator. So we'll see at the next meeting with the lawyer, because the lawyer ain't sent out nothing. The board's lawyer ain't sent out nothing to any of the board members. So he must be going to put something together, because he come up to Doug after that meeting with the judge and said, let's hire this guy as a mediator. Doug told him, no, we don't need a mediator. We just got to make sure the next meeting that we pass specific what we're going to do. We already got a plan. We're going to fix between Burt and Vern Road. We're going to fix the number 4 structure, and we're going to fix 200 feet down of the Savage Drain. That's what our project, we just have to put that all in one motion, pass it, tell the engineer, this is what you concentrate on, this is what we're going to do. And then he says he'll have that to take back to the judge. No, they've got a project, they're moving forward. Because their biggest complaint is we ain't fixing them flat gates.
You mean Albany's still not backed off on their lawyer?
No.
No. Just let them do it then, spend their money. Why should we spend ours? Just let them.
I don't, well, I know he thinks it's a waste of money. Doug Kelly, the guy, he said this is a waste of money, but he says, what are you going to do? You got to protect your guys' interest, you know. And if he gets all this information together, if Albany keeps pursuing it, he's going to ask the judge to just drop this, because the way she talked, he said she don't really want to get involved in this because she don't know anything about grids, you know. So, but he's got to get the information together to be ready if they go back to court or back to the judge, you know. So He's gonna have everything ready for the board meeting, because he's planning on going to the next board meeting to see, make sure we get the motions right, so everybody understands what we're doing.
Okay, so have you got the date yet set in the next meeting?
Yes, the 24th. It's a week from today.
So this would be the Muskegon.
Muskegon Creek, yep. 2 o'clock in the afternoon at Albee Township.
Might be an interesting meeting.
Yep. Yeah.
I'm just speculating.
Mhm.
It is.
But he's just coming up here so everybody can meet him, and if you got any questions, you can ask him.
That would be tomorrow.
Yeah. And he'll have to go in, just with you guys hired him in the 3 townships. Once we get everything, the introductions done, he'll have to talk to you guys, because we can't be in that meeting legally. He can only be with his clients, so.
Okay, thanks, Tony.
Yep.
Any other comments? Any other phone calls to the public, I'm sorry? Hearing none, we'll adjourn this meeting. Thank you.
Give us a couple minutes and we'll have finance.